Welcome, 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 beautiful souls. Tuning in for today's message. Hello, my name is Soraya with Seeds of Divinity, the Shamanic Breakthrough Method. Shamanic practitioner. Shamanic witch. I'm just getting connected here and stepping in. Whew. The first thing I see in this energy is rainbows, rainbow frequency, rainbow light. I see a ghost emoji. I see a mushroom emoji. I hear there's a window of opportunity that's about to open for you. This is, I hear a strugglesome energy. You've been struggling with, I hear shifts. Like, where is mine? How come mine isn't here yet? Which brings this energy of comparing. Are you comparing yourself to others? Ooh, that hurt my heart right here. All right. Interesting. There's a I hear disease that you're clearing out of your body. Of your heart. I hear disease. Interesting. You could have heart palpitations, severe anxiety. I hear bipolar disorder. Oh, and it's showing me the red on this deck here. This is something that your family line has struggled with for a long time. It's been carried down generations. Like bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, high and low moods, PMDD, okay, there is a darkness. Do I want to say darkness? I don't want to say darkness. It looks to be dark, but it's only in your perception, right? There is an entity. I don't want to call it an entity. There is a frequency. I don't know what to call it. What do you want me to call it? It's an entity. There's an entity that you've been carrying for generations down your family line, and this has a lot to do with mental health. I hear the path of persuasion. Interesting. Like it, I hear that again, the path of persuasion, and I'm not guided to talk into that deeper. I see Mother Teresa. So there's this saint-like energy that is emanating through you. But if you read Mother Teresa's journals, you know that somebody that is that touched by the Great Spirit is also that touched by the darkness, right? In order to connect with God, you must also connect with the devil. In order to connect with angels, you must also connect with demons. And I feel like there's a perception shift for you in this space. Why do I always pivot to this darkness? Why do I pivot to this space of despair? Why do I pivot to the space of no love? I remember reading one of Mother Teresa's journals, and it was like, why are you so far from me, Great Spirit? I cannot see you in this path of darkness. And it was like, that was a direct reflection of my own journals, right? And on the shamanic path, the part of pivoting to the light is also pivoting to the darkness. You cannot go to the top of the Agostar tree without going to the bottom of the 9 realms, right? So there's something that you're needing to trust yourself on. There's something that you're needing to give yourself permission on. There's a path that has been less traveled by your ancestors, and it's time to reawaken it. There's an initiation taking place here. Is this a path to shamanism? Perhaps. I hear the path of shamanism behooves you. Is there a fear and apprehensiveness? I don't feel like a fear. And it's interesting that they had me put on my veil, because there's a space where you're feeling like you're needing to be protected, not realizing that you are the protection, right? You are that light. Your body is your protection. Not saying that we're not needing to learn different types of protection and spiritual tools and so on and so forth, but it's going to be really, really important to remember that you are the vessel and everything you need is within you. And God, Goddess, Great Spirit, your ancestors send the things that you need through you. So there's a big space about learning to trust your intuition and the magic and the channeling, the mediumship that's flowing through you. Okay. This energy brings a lot of doubt. So that could be part of the, I hear, mental illness. My face feels very itchy. Do you have allergic reactions to something? Interesting. I feel like I have hives or I have allergic reactions to something. Hey. Okay, they're wanting me to touch on this spirit. When we hold ourselves in a space of fear, we deny aspects of ourselves. When we look at things as if it's dark or it's scary, or say it's a demon, or a dark entity, when we look at it in a space of fear and turn around and run away, we're running away from aspects of ourselves. When we are in deep, deep shamanic experiences, the face that it wears is something that is for our subconscious, for our something to help us shift through things within ourselves. Also, when we have traumatic experiences happen to us when we're children, we summon certain entities and darker frequencies to protect our inner child. Ooh, that was deep. To protect our inner child. Whew. So you may be somebody who has experienced a lot of inner child trauma or past life trauma, but mostly childhood trauma. Not even inner child, childhood trauma. And when this happens, we summon darkness to protect us. And this could be something that you're working through right now or working towards right now. And sometimes those things come up and they look scary. So I invite you to release the paradigm of scary and understand that everything is a reflection of you. Everything is a reflection of you. If it is dark, 1818 when I said that. If it is dark, it is a reflection of your rage. It is a reflection of your pain. It is a reflection of you. And if it is that space of an entity reflection, there is something to see within that. We are very, very old souls. This particular message is for somebody that's a very, very old soul. There is spaces within yourself that you do not fully see or understand yet. But also in those spaces of darkness, there is spaces of power and spaces of light and spaces of wisdom. Our light is protected by our darkness. Our light is protected by our shadow. And our shadow sometimes looks like entities, sometimes looks like energies with scary faces, right? So it's really important to trust yourself as you're going through this process and remember that everything is a reflection of you. Trust that you have the tools to face whatever that is. Also, when we're going through shamanic healing within ourselves, these things come up like onions. And once we finally get to an entity or a being or an implant, I just hear you'll know what to do. They don't want me to dive into that too deeply. Okay. You're about to drink from the cup of the divine. This has to go with the initiation that you've been experiencing. We have the Wheel of Fortune here with the Four of Cups. You're about to drink of the divine. The eclipse that just happened, or we're in the midst of an eclipse right now. The eclipse that just happened is bringing you to something, a whole new, I hear a shroud of wisdom, and I hear a shroud of income, because you've ended many things upon your path. You know what you're letting go of. You know what you're releasing. And remember, you drink from the divine because you are divine. It unfolds from within you. It unfolds through you. There's also a mouse right here. And it's bringing me to the energy of a rat. You could have people in your frequency that are reflective of that darkness that you have within you. Perhaps you keep people around that are in addiction or obsessiveness or fear or take advantage of you because it reminds you of pieces of you. This is subconscious, of course. So there's a space where you're really needing to pay attention to the people around you so you can drink from this divine cup, the Wheel of Fortune with the Four Cups. That rat, it's leeching off your energy. They know that you are divine. So they keep you around to ... Okay. Then we have the King of Swords here with the Ten of Swords and the Seven of Cups. You may feel confused, but your soul knows what to do because you're guided by this Great Spirit. You're guided by the Golden Eagle. You're guided by the Hawk. You know what to do because your inspiration, your intuition knows where to point the arrow and where to bring it to. There's also a quest, a pilgrimage that you've been on. They're calling forward a 3-day fast for you, whether it be if you've never fasted before, make sure you do your research. Start with the vegetables and then go into fruits and then go into a fast. It's going to be really important for you to follow that. I hear path, plethora. I hear plethora. Interesting. As you go to fast on this vision quest. They're kind of wanting me to separate those two, which is very interesting. And the word separation, it makes me feel some sort of way in my heart. So when it comes to this darkness, because on the other side we have the Devil card, remember that you too are dark, right? So stop holding so many judgments upon yourself and stop holding so many judgments upon your darkness, because all is as it seems and nothing is as it seems. So there's a huge space about, look, this is like those mental illnesses from your family line. I hear hereditary disorder. This is sometimes the initiation path into shamanism. Indigenous tribes all over, when people go through psychosis, they usually know that there's some sort of medicine path within you that is unfolding because you're connected to the other side. So stop wearing the arrows of your ancestors and allow yourself to go through this initiation. I feel like you're holding your cards really tight to you, especially because there's rats in your energy. Okay, I'm not going to touch into that. They don't want me to touch into that too deeply. There is a symbol on the floor back here. If you are going into some sort of shamanic ritual or some sort of, we'll say ritual. It doesn't have to have a label. Remember, you can put chalk. Boy, we're getting high. We're getting freaking deep here. Putting chalk on the floor to draw your lines, to draw your symbols will help keep the energy contained when you are doing some sort of magic ritual. You're feeling like you need to hold on to all your things when you don't, because you are all things, right? You are all things. When you properly know how to draw a sigil or properly know how to cast a circle, you don't have to hold everything so tight to you. When you're holding everything so tight to you, you're not allowing the energy to flow. And sometimes it can bring up this fear. If there's a fear for you, it's like weighing down on the heart, and it's hard, and it brings me to those heart palpitations again, and like those spaces of panic or anxiety. There could have been a lot of father wounds. Whew. Do you know how far you've come? And I hear, do you know the Muffin Man? This entity could really bother you. Interesting. Like, they could really play with your mind, and it brings me back to this Ten of Swords. There's like a fear to this energy, and it's bringing me to my solar plexus, and it's like this huge unhingement of your power. Sometimes the light seeks your darkness. If we're not letting our shadow, or if we're not expressing or experiencing our shadow, we're not experiencing our wholeness. We have the Six of Wands here. We have the Two of Wands, the Nine of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. You could be asked to be stepped. This is a huge initiation. You could be being asked to step into a teacher role, or making this some sort of line of work or career. And I don't think it's just tarot. I don't want to say just tarot. Tarot is an avenue in which to connect with people, right? There's a path here that's unfolding through the witch's wound. I hear the witch's wound. There's an emotional fulfillment that's about to take place here when you decide if you're going to step into this initiation. No matter what, you do not have to decide to take a shamanic path. But if you do, the weight lifts. If you like really listen to your heart, I feel you would be great. Even if you... Nope, they don't want me to say that either. How would you like me to proceed? These don't always go away. We just learn to live above them. It brings me to Stephen Strange, right? When he says, you taught me to defeat my demons. She says, we never defeat our demons. We learn to live above them. There is a path of releasing those darker aspects of ourselves, of the collective. They don't... Okay. I could talk about entities. There's a lot to learn. Okay. If anybody is seeking support, feel free to reach out. You can reach me through my email. You can reach me through the seedsofdivinity.org, right? You can reach me through Seeds of Divinity on Facebook. And there's a lot of offerings that I bring forward. I also have a next level shamanic witchcraft program. I also have healing offerings and group classes available to you if you're seeking assistance in this. If you do struggle with mental illness, if you do struggle with entities and learning how to work through them, feel free to reach out. Know that you're not alone in that. I took the shamanic path because I knew that was for me. I've been a very old soul. I've been a teacher and a guide and a medicine soul for a very long time, and I chose this path because I wanted to help people. I chose the shamanic path because I wanted to help people get out of the shit that I had experienced in my life and in my lifetimes. I knew what this felt like. I knew what this looked like. And I wanted to help people experience this and freedom and healing from inner child wounds and from deep childhood pain and abuse and life pain and abuse and PTSD and anxiety. I knew that I wanted to help people. This is the path I chose, was through shamanic healing. All shamanic healing means is I understand the spaces of spirit, entity, and intergalactic communication, and also healing on many different modalities, including herbs, energy, somatics, past life, akashic energies, right? It's a wide range of healing modalities in one umbrella of a shamanic term. I started my path in witchcraft. I started my path as a spell winder, right? Candles and herbs and magic, because magic has always been my thing. When I decided to step into my shamanic ancestry and the shamanism that was ready to come through me, it took me down a very interesting path, but it's the most authentic for me, right? It's the most authentic for me. And not only did I learn to work through the darker parts of my psyche and my subconscious and depression and all of those things, I also learned to bring in the light. I also learned to bring in joy and magic and playfulness and healing. It's not all dark. And I am here to remind you that no matter what you choose, you know what is right for you. Yes. There's an ancestor that is communicating with you, even in this now moment, that is ready to guide you through this space. I hear that again, ancestral and heritage. There is, I hear tea with Mara. Ooh, so tea with Mara. Mara was the Buddha, right? Or Mara wasn't the Buddha. Mara was the demon. When he sat down by the tree, he went through many paths to find enlightenment, right? And he didn't find it. He went through discipline, severe fasting, a physical pain, deep lessons and disciplines through many different teachers, and nothing worked for him to find enlightenment. So he went and sat next to the tree, kind of like Odin being hung in the tree, right? Buddha sat next to the tree, and 7 demons came forward. All of them were some sort of fear, mental health, temptation, or addiction, or obsession, right? He sat down and faced every single one of them. He had tea with Mara, is what we call it in our practice. In my practice, in my classes, we have tea with Mara. We have tea with our darkness to release the hold that they have in your energy. When he did this, he finally achieved enlightenment. No matter what path you choose or what path you're on, it's important to have tea with Mara, because your darkness is yours alone. And we can either suffer or we can be the empowerment through our own path. You are not weak. You are magical. This isn't just a mental illness. This is something that's been carried on for lifetimes and generations. This is something that's been in your bones. Because you have the strength to uncover it. You have the strength to heal. Not heal it. I don't like the word heal. You have the strength to release, to transcend, to resonate through resilience. You have the strength to release this. When we do that, it heals all aspects of you and your ancestors. Epigenetics. So I invite you to have tea with Mara. I love you, beautiful soul. We will see you next time.